I still don't know if I'm going to cover every issue of the High Republic Adventures here, but I was very impressed by the first issue, and I wanted to chime in again just to say that it wasn't a fluke. I'm usually pretty meh on the Star Wars Adventures line from IDW because they're stories written for younger audiences. They're totally valid, just not for me. But the High Republic Adventures feels like a completely different entity. It's more accessible to a younger audience than the Marvel High Republic series, but it is so much more impactful to this era than I expected it to be. Story-wise, it wraps up everything on Trimand 4. The Jedi save the people there, but the Nihil take a few hostages during their escape. Those people go willingly after setting up some sort of deal with Marchion Ro, and by the way, I'm just shocked that he is part of this storyline. A Test of Courage, for example, set up who I think will be a recurring Nihil villain, but they're farther down on the totem pole, so I was thinking Marchion would be the villain for the novels and the more adult stories, but no, he's here, and he wants some information from the Elder of this city he's attacking, and I love that I'm like, what information does he need? Yoda sneaks on board their ship to try to rescue one of the hostages, but the kid, Crix, doesn't want to leave yet. This setup is very similar to Tam's storyline from Star Wars Resistance. Crix feels lied to, but he's conflicted about leaving his friend. For now, he refuses to leave with Yoda, but I figure he'll come around. And Yoda's trip wasn't for nothing. He gets a peek inside a box that gives off a purple glow. Yoda seems like maybe he recognizes it, or is at least surprised by it. For now, I'm going to assume he got a look at the purple object Marchion was seen wielding near the end of Light of the Jedi. The book describes it as an object of stone and metal, a rod 3 hands long, carved and incised with symbols, screaming faces, fire, chains. It looked as if it had been melted once and reforged. When Marchion touched the object, it began to glow a sickly purple color. In the epilogue of the book, Jedi Master Elzar Mann sees awful visions cast in a sickly purple light of his Jedi friends, horribly mutilated, fighting battles they could not win against awful things that lived in the dark. I assume the vision is connected with whatever it is Marchion has, and now Yoda has seen it. Maybe he even took it, we don't know. I doubt it, but whatever happened, I am so pleasantly surprised that what I thought was going to be the least influential aspect of the High Republic is immediately tying in with one of the era's biggest mysteries, and that lines up perfectly with what writer Daniel Jose Older said about this slice of the overall story, that it will have its own major beats that impact the rest of the era, and that's fantastic. The story ends with the Padawans and their new Force-sensitive friend, Zine, going home to Starlight Beacon. I'm excited that this story is going to keep zipping along and isn't spending a ton of time on one planet. This could be a lot like the Marvel comic, hopping across the galaxy, and I'm loving actually getting to spend time with the same characters month after month in an adventures comic. That's the end of issue 2, but I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't talk about Buckets of Blood, Torben Buck. Daniel Jose Older has been hyping this character up for a couple months now, and I had a big, dumb grin on my face when he finally really yelled his name. He's this massive Chagrian Jedi Master who can tear through the Nihil, but he hates it. He hates fighting. He's a healer. I like that dichotomy, but I also like the levity that Older gives it all, and it makes it even better that Buck is based on a real-world person that Older knew when he was a paramedic. So yeah, the High Republic Adventures continues to be one of, if not the best of all, the Star Wars Adventures line, in my opinion. But what did you think of the second issue? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Star Wars coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.